Okay, Lost Liberators. That's what I want to talk about. So in the Lost Liberators, he obviously uses his White's metal detector to find two 50 caliber bullets, and he said that essentially his greatest actual treasure find, not treasure hunt, but the actual finding of said treasure. And then obviously he said in 2016 he found out exactly why they ended up there in the first place. And really that aspect of the story is really where my connection point happens. So obviously when he did that, he was in the Tanque Verde area, and that, how do I put it? It's where that plane crashed. So in 1944, there were two B-24 planes, had a lot of people in them, that took off on a training exercise, and then because of the blinding sun, they lost visibility, and in that loss of visibility, they crashed into each other and obviously left wreckage at the crash site. The crash site was in the Patano Wash, which is essentially a dry wash area where if there's a monsoon or something, obviously it'll flood out, but that's essentially how the water flows outwardly, because it's right in the middle of the Continental Divide, I do believe. So it's right in like the basin area where like the water's flowing down like towards the oceans and such. Anyway, so he is metal detecting. He finds the two bullets that are there because of blinding sun and a crash. So a flight because of bright sun that crashed. So as hope surges, let's go back. Can you find the time? Flowing through each visual rhyme. Okay, wisdom waits in shadowed sight for those who read these words just right. As hope surges clear and bright, walk near water's silent flight. So if you take the last four words of line 3, or if you take the last word of line 3, 4, 5, and 6, and you just take that word, you're going to get sight, right, bright, flight. So like going through the book, I think it's the only instance where there's a literal example of a flight and interaction with something that was bright. And yeah, I mean, I think that is the right flight to sight. And then that would put you in Tucson in the Patano Wash area, like for those lines. Whether or not you stay there, whether or not you go north, northwest, east, west, I guess, but not west. It's not west of Tucson, I don't think. I don't think, but it could be. Obviously, I don't know. But sight, right, bright flight, and Lost Liberators has a bright flight, and yeah, it was a treasured item for him. So I mean, it feels like it could have connections. Maybe he has one of the bullets in there. Maybe not both, but maybe one. Yeah, I think that's it. I mean, I've tried to do the same thing with other lines of the poem, like whole pole, like maybe the rhyming words both need to connect with the selected area. I don't know. Sight, right, bright flight. And yeah, I think the only bright flight I can think of is the B-24 crash. And yeah, okay, that's it. Well, yeah, I think that's it. One more thing. So like what you seek, you already know, and like what you seek has like an M dash on it, obviously. Like part of me, like when he talks about this being like a continuation of like Forest Fens Hunt, part of me thinks that M-1 and M-2 is supposed to incorporate perhaps like a Forest Fen line from his poem, and which would make it kind of like an infinity hunt where they're in like a figure eight kind of going together. So like what would be an example of this? Well, like what you seek, it's no place for the meek. Which might mean that you have to cross, obviously, water. And after you cross water, you have to enter a tree area. Perhaps that is the reality for Justin's hunt as well. And you're supposed to, where that poem where that M dash ends off, like then you transfer over to the Forrest Fenn one, maybe? I don't know. I've tried to think of every possible scenario, and I can see that one making sense. Wisdom Waits in Shadowed Sight. I'd have to go back and figure out. I did have a couple thoughts that, but like if you think about like the Forrest Fenn hunt, another reason why I think that is because, I mean, what you seek, you already know. I mean, Forrest Fenn essentially says the same thing in different words in his poem. So I definitely see like the similarities, and I definitely have not ruled out that I'm supposed to merge them in some way. And yes, I think that's it now. Okay, thanks, bye.